What if the secret to perfect parenting was admitting that none of us have a clue?
The truth, we're two real moms figuring it out in real time and keeping it real along the way.
Each episode, we're calling BS on perfection and bringing you raw combos with parents and professionals who aren't afraid to go there.
Because what if the real parenting hack was dropping truth bombs instead of pretending like we got it all together? Let's get into it.
We have to go back to the checklist again because it's been a while. We're like,
It's up there.
do we have this off? Do we have this on? Do we have this on?
We're
back.
It's only been 2 weeks.
But it feels like a brand new you again. Like, don't you feel like you're
I feel
reborn?
like I've been completely reborn,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
You're like, where am I? Who am I? What am I doing?
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
I think it's season 5, episode 6.
Yeah.
Technically, it's a 7th episode, but
And we have a star guest.
we have a star guest, another podcast co-host,
Like another newbie.
It's boy.
You haven't said anything about that yet.
No,
I
I'm
realize-
waiting for a photo shoot. It'll be out by the time this comes out. But yeah, I have not said anything. I mean, I kind of knew it was boy. We only make boys.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. What did you like? When did you know? Like, when did you were like, this is definitely a boy? Like, have you always had it, or was there like a defining
I felt
moment?
it. I just kind of felt it. I felt like well, first of all, in my 20s, I always said I wanted boys. Like, I would pray to God. I'm like, I want boys. I want boys. I don't want any girls. Like, because they're easier, they're cheaper. Like, I just was like, I want boys. I want boys. And I grew up around my dad and my brother, so I knew what I was getting myself into. But then, like, there's always the thought of, hey, like, if I do have a girl, like those little, like, you know, oh, like,
Yeah.
and I was totally fine with either or, but like, I just knew. I think I was supposed to be a boy mom. So I don't know. I can't really describe.
I know
it.
you do wear that hat. Well, I'm surprised you don't have it on today. Your boy mom
Oh
hat.
yeah, I was wearing it yesterday. Couldn't do it 2 days in a row. Why is it so big? Oh.
Did your
There we
head
go.
shrink in birth?
So I think it was more like the likelihood of me having a girl and being like the first one to have one in the Kowalske family was slim to
Oh,
none.
that's right. Because his brother also has all boys, right?
Yep. And then Jill only has 2 boys.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's mostly boys. So I was like,
Got it.
okay.
You're on boy energy.
Yeah. So I just kind of, I don't know, I felt it. And I felt like Easton really like would thrive with like a little brother.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
How's he been? How was that meeting?
It's good. I'm not gonna lie, I've been emotional. Oh, baby sneezes. I have been more emotional. That's the hardest thing. That has been the hardest thing in this, well, besides the pain, but the hardest thing in postpartum is just, especially the first like 3 or 4 days, I was not okay. I think I was texting you. I was like, I'm not okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm ruining his life. But he's been such a great big brother. And like anytime he makes any kind of sound, he's like, baby, baby. He made up a little song.
Oh,
to
I
sing to him,
love
and it's
it.
so cute. It's like,
Yeah.
baby, baby, what do you do? Baby, baby, I love you. I'm like, did you make that up?
So cute.
So cute. So, and by the way, this is Harlan Wayne.
Yay.
I forgot to say his name. Harlan was a name that I was watching some show on Netflix and not.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was just some show on Netflix, and there was like this old patriarchal. What is it?
Patriarchal.
I don't know that word.
Yeah.
Anyways, older man, and he was kind of badass, and like
I love it.
I was like, oh, that's such a good like young little kid's name,
Yeah.
and also old man's name. That's kind of what I was going for. And then his middle name, there's no family correlation. People are like, okay, so who's Wayne? And we're like, well, we just thought it'd be funny to have a baby named Wayne, and that was gonna be if we had a boy. Our miscarriage baby, that we were gonna name him Wayne. So it was a little nod to
I
nod to
love.
him. And
Yeah.
we can call him Little Wayne
Little
still.
Wayne.
So
Yeah, and you were playing that on the ride back, right?
yeah. Yeah. The ride back from the hospital, we were like, all right, let's play some Little Wayne for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
I think that's something that people don't realize is that there is that moment with your firstborn and your secondborn that you're like, because the firstborn, that's all they know is 100% you all the time.
yeah.
And that's the moment where you're like, oh, I have to not split love or split energy. It's just split time. It's
Yeah.
like, how do I prioritize?
Ensure that you still matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a complete breakdown the first day of school. Just Easton always gets chicken nuggets in his lunches. He just eats them all, and I know he's getting good protein, like the Applegate Organics chicken nuggets, and make them for him every time. And we had not gone to the store because everything kind of happened so fast, and I'm going to get into that in a second. But basically, we had not gone to the store, and I thought I was ruining his life. I started having a complete breakdown and started crying because he's like, I wanted chicken nuggets. And I was like, I could at least have gotten you chicken nuggets for your lunch. And just like, I mean, it was just hormone dumping. Crazy. So yeah, that was fun, but just like little things like that.
I think that's somebody told me that is that you just have to trust, one, the fact that you are worried about that. It shows how good of a mom you are.
Yeah.
You know, and two, maybe it's a little trauma. I don't know about you, but like that, the reason why I had felt that way was because when I was little, my parents did not do a good job of reinforcing that this is a new dynamic, but you are still much more like you are still important.
Still just as important.
Yeah. And I think mine might have been because I was like 7.
Okay.
So it was
where?
Yeah. So it was more that, and like I was the help, right?
Yeah.
So it went from like not just showing me that, but it was like, okay, cool, you have this sister who's now your responsibility, who like now I need your help, you know, whereas opposed to like they're this little and they they look bigger, which is that's first like thing, but you realize that they are still so little and like that they need you too. And so you're just like, okay, how do I navigate making you feel important, not dumping all of this like emotion, and then I of course not ignoring you. And we did it where we would address the baby.
Yeah,
and that seemed to work out.
Put you down now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that worked out.
Big brother needs me.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't feel like priority.
Like I remember like it was like 2 or 3 days after the baby was born. River, I knew she really needed me, and she had said, "Hey, mommy, will you?" Because we take baths together.
Yeah.
And she's, "Mommy, will you take a bath with just River and mommy?" I'm like, "Okay." And she had already put the bath, like she had turned it on, and she was like, "I have the bath. It's all hot." Like, and then we just like took a bath together. It was just something that she needed. She just wanted mommy and River. And like even now she'd be like, "I just want mommy River time." And I'm like, "Okay, I can totally do that for you." You know?
Yeah.
It's becoming less and less. Like she definitely wants her sister around more. But there were definitely times in the first couple of months where she was very expressive of like, "I need your time." And I was like, I have to give this to her, because they say like, you know, not that he's not important, but he's not going to remember you putting him down for 5 minutes to pay attention, but Easton will.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah. So that's been the hardest part besides the whole pain.
Yeah.
Let me get into it.
Okay, let's go. Because I haven't heard any of the birth story.
She was like, "Don't."
I'm like, "Don't tell me a thing. I want to experience."
You know a little bit. You mean like?
Well, I know you I know you had the ECV and then you went to labor. So let's go. Because I think this is a crazy thing, is that we were going to have a talk about all the prep and the ECV, and then we never even got into it. So let's go back to the ECV.
Yes. So got lots of notes.
I love this.
Okay. So yeah, the ECV, it took place, what was it? Friday the 17th. And we were, like you said, we were going to talk about it, and just like how I was feeling really good about it. I thought it was definitely going to work. I was like, "Oh, he's transverse. Like we're good."
Yeah.
So I go into the ECV really early in the morning. I've come to find out it's not just an epidural they're doing. They're doing a whole spinal and an epidural. Yeah. So like it was a lot of drugs.
And you had just found, wait, even backing up further. So we had your baby sprinkle.
Yeah.
And at the sprinkle, you got notified. So the sprinkle was on a Saturday, and you were notified that next Friday.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. So I actually was going to go in to do the ECV originally on week 39.
Right.
And then I made the spontaneous decision to move it up to week 37 because they were having trouble scheduling it that week. And they wanted to do it on like May 1st. And it was just like so late. And I was like, that's just so far away. I feel like the baby's going to be too big.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get the doctor that I wanted. And I was like, no, like this doesn't feel right. Let me do it when he's small.
Yeah.
So week 37, I decided to do it. And when we were at the baby sprinkle, I was like, okay, so it's happening. And everything got moved up 2 weeks. And I was like, okay, like, and I was kind of freaking out at the sprinkle. I'm like, all right, I have a lot to do this week.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like, it's real. It's really happening.
Guys, I really didn't do anything. Like the clothes were still in a cardboard. I washed them, but I put them back into like a cardboard box. Cause our house, again, if you were just tuning in and you haven't heard anything before, we're doing a house edition.
This season is the under construction season.
It is, yes, the chaos
which, by the way,
season.
it looks really good. But at the point, still today, you have people coming in and out of your house, for construction.
We have limited space. Like he doesn't have a room, so like his stuff is just kind of thrown into a guest room right now.
Yeah,
and he's living in our bedroom. So, I didn't have any of that set up either.
Yeah,
nothing. So anyways, I go in and they do a spinal and an epidural, and they cannot get me numb. They keep just upping the doses. And they actually had to invert me on the table.
Wait, they couldn't get you numb?
Yeah, like it was like they had to keep upping like the medication because of like how tall and like how much I weighed.
Really?
So for it to get to like the rest of my body, to get it to like up here, they had to invert me on the table. So I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see the ultrasound, and my dumb ass freaking, there was some lady that was like, hey, we don't get to see these very often. Do you mind if we have a couple students come in? And I was like, oh, it's an ECV. Like, who cares? Like, as long as it wasn't the birth. Like, I'm not mentally like.
Right.
But I shouldn't have done that.
Why?
Because I was inverted, and Justin could see him doing it, and he could see the ultrasound, and I didn't know where they were standing in the room. And I could hear them say, oh, it's a stubborn boy. It's a stubborn boy. Like they were like saying stuff about the gender. And Justin knew that they were behind the ultrasound, and he was like getting upset because he was like, she doesn't know the gender. She's going to think that it's a boy because they're saying stuff. And just like, it was a little distracting. And I think I did actually need that mental like clarity to kind of be there for it. It's okay.
It was like, that was not fun for me.
That was not fun for me. So essentially he tried everything. Like he tried for a good like 10, 15 minutes and like took breaks and everything. But essentially he was just snapping back like right to where it was transverse. He would get him so far. Justin thought he had it at one point, but he just kept snapping back. And like, he was just like, I'm so sorry. Like
How long did that go for?
Like 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay, so this is quick.
Oh yeah,
that part's quick. They don't mess around very long.
No, and it's like it's a lot of tugging and pulling, and you just feel like you're getting like a titty twister on your stomach. I don't know how to explain like any other way. And I was pretty numb during it. It's just like a lot of pressure. And he has really strong hands, so I was just like, okay, it's uncomfortable, but it wasn't like horrible. But
they wouldn't do it for more than 50. Like, is that's standard? Like, they don't do it very long.
I don't even think they usually do it that long. Apparently, it's only like 5 minutes. Okay, let me breastfeed.
They have you inverted. They're going through this, and he's popping back.
Yeah, he's just like snapping back. And we tried the other way, and it's just, well, that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, unfortunately, it didn't work. I just start crying, and like the doctor felt so bad. He's like.
Now, wait. What you didn't explain was, I don't think we talked about this, like what kind of breech he was. Because you had said he was something Frank breech, right?
Yes. So apparently I thought that my placenta was on this side, but it actually was a fundal placenta, and it was at the top.
Yeah. And
then he was Frank breech, but he was looking towards my spine.
Okay.
And then he was like transverse oblique.
That's okay. So yeah, but like people, I don't know if anyone is listening and they can explain it, but like his feet were like way up, right?
Yeah, his feet were like way, like you can kind of see. Well, he's kind of gotten over it now, but like he's always kind of scrunched.
Yeah.
But yeah, his feet were like up here essentially, and he was. Imagine him like this, but on this side. That's exactly how he was. So yeah, it was a tough way to turn. And actually you had done some research, and it was supposed to be one of the best positions that they can be in to turn. So that's why I was so perplexed coming out of this. I was like, I really thought this was going to work. What is going on? Like, I don't know. So I just accepted it essentially.
Yeah.
And you know,
I know I was trying to throw you all the good energy. I was like, okay, I read this about this, and truly the Frank breech, because they're all so scrunched, there's no like dangly legs, right? But I think what we find out later is the reason why, and I think that actually is the best thing.
Everything worked out for a reason.
Yeah.
So essentially, this has a lot to do with going into labor. So because I had so much medicine in my body, I kept peeing myself. They didn't give me a catheter. I just kept peeing myself on the table. And then once I left, I could walk, but I didn't have very good control over my bladder. On top of that, very important, I've had this sinus infection. I don't know if you guys have been following me, but I've had this sinus infection where it was like migraines behind my eyeballs.
Yeah, you were having a bad headache.
So now it was like draining, and now it's all, and I still have some of it, but like I had this deep sinus cough, and that's not helping me at all when it comes to like trying to control my pee. So I leave with a diaper, and I go to bed with a diaper. And I was coughing so bad that every time I coughed, I peed. So for some reason that night, I was like, I'm going to go. I was coughing so bad that I was like, I'm going to go. I'm going to spend the night in the guest bedroom. I'm just going to get some good rest. I don't want to disturb Easton and Justin. What's wrong?
A bug.
Using it as a pacifier.
Okay. I can relate.
So I'm like, I'm going to get some good sleep. I'm going to go into the guest bedroom and I'm not going to disturb Easton and Justin because it was bad. It was really, really bad. So around 3:00 in the morning, I'm like coughing and I feel like really wet. I'm like, oh, I've just been peeing myself all night because of all this stuff. And then I started getting like pains and it felt like poop pains, like when you have to go to the bathroom. I'm like, oh, well, I guess I didn't get to go because I'm pretty regular. I didn't get to go today. I probably have to go. But I was so tired that I didn't want to get up. And then I realized like they were pretty like consistent. And I started looking at the clock and I was like, is it a contraction? No way. But it was like perfectly spaced about 8 minutes. And I was like, all right, I'm going to the bathroom. I have my bloody show and I have mucus. And I'm like, oh. And I had felt like a gush earlier that felt thicker.
Yeah.
And I was like, did my water break? There's no way. Like, no way. So I text my doula and I'm like, hey, this is going on. She's like, yeah, I think you're in early labor. I think you need to get to the hospital right now. And what's so funny is that like Justin and I were like, hey, we'll pick a date tomorrow, like when we want to do the C-section. So Justin's in the other room and I'm like, hey, Justin. And he's like, what? I'm like, I'm in labor. And he comes out and he looks like Tom Cruise from that movie where he just like slides across the floor. He's like, what? Like, it was so funny. His hair's like everywhere. He's in his underwear, like, what?
I love that. It's like, just like, I'm just imagining like a dark room and then him just like sliding out.
It's exactly like that. It's exactly what happened. Like he just jetted out. Like, what? Like his eyes were open. It was so funny. Texted my neighbor. She came down. I think I texted you. And I was like, I'm in labor.
Yeah, I just okay. So that's the weird thing is that I like even your neighbor too is like we all happened to be up at 6 a.m.
You guys all like,
that day, like
and the doula too.
Yeah, Lenny.
She's like, I just woke up.
Yeah, Lenny for whatever reason that day was like at 5:30. It was like, hey, we're gonna be up for a while. So you had texted us like, all right.
Yeah, right. It was wild, and like I had not ordered the vitamin K stuff, so I was like, Brittany, do you happen to have it? And she had it, so that was good. And I was like, and then I forgot a cooler because I actually got my placenta encapsulated and got a tincture and like solved and all this stuff. It's really cool actually. But like I was like, can you bring it to the hospital?
Yeah,
like,
I'm like, PJ, wipe down the Yeti, and he's like, for what? Like, we're putting an organ in there.
Yeah, very proud of that organ.
Yeah.
Got a little picture and everything.
I loved it. Yeah.
So we I also started unpacking from the hospital because I was like, okay, well, like I didn't go into labor and like I had some stuff that I needed and stuff like that. I don't know. Justin didn't believe it. He was like, I was like, okay, let's go. He's like, I'm like, where's your bag? He's like, I've got clothes on. I'm like, no, honey, like this is happening. Like I'm in labor. He's like, no, okay. He's like, do I really need to pack? I'm like, yeah, you do. Go pack now. So he was in disbelief, but we get in and then by 9.
Also, you told me at this point because you're like he's like we have a little bit of time, and you were like no, I'm not having like the baby is still breech. Like we're
not having the baby. Like
you're like I have to go into a C-section.
This is not what she told us. Like the doula told us. Like this isn't like go back to sleep.
Yeah,
like labor a little bit. Like this is not helping anyone at this point. And honestly, like I'm sad that I didn't get to go through it because I think I did handle the pain really well. Yeah. Like I was like, oh, this is my periods are worse, honestly.
Well, yeah, but that's early labor, honey. That's not the same pain.
You're like, no, you're so funny. You're so funny.
That is not transitional at all. Yeah. But good for you.
Let's see.
We all feel that way in early labor. We're like, no big deal.
This is no big deal. Okay, so then maybe I didn't.
Okay, I do.
Oh, this point.
Yeah.
I think this might be what you're going to say. So I'm talking to Brittany on the phone, asking her to bring the vitamin K. And I'm like, I haven't felt the baby move. And it scared the shit out of me. But I was like trying to stay calm. And we get to the hospital and like, they're like, confirm the baby is good. I go through my contractions, but I get pretty quickly, they get me in and I'm on the table. I remember just getting super tired. Like, just like, I'm like, I have to close my eyes right now. And I remember for Easton's, I was like wide awake. I'm sure I'm going to get shit for this.
No.
But yeah, so I basically went on the table and lots of tugging, lots of pulling, all that stuff. And he was really fast. He was like within 10 minutes he was there. The doctor just puts him up. I have the video. I can show it to you, but it's very graphic. Like the nurse that was filming like got me like
on the table.
Open. Oh yeah. Like I have a picture of him.
Had you seen that with Easton or no? You hadn't seen yourself cut open?
No.
Okay.
It wasn't as bad as I thought. You know how they say there's like organs all over the place?
Yeah.
No, it's just a big gash in your stomach.
Oh, okay.
But like there's a picture that she got where his legs are out and his balls are out, and that's the only thing just sticking out of my stomach. It's wild. But like basically the doctor just like, instead of just like saying like, here he is, he just puts his balls in my face. Upside down. Like that's how he was presented to me. It was really funny. And then I got Justin to announce what it was. And I know. And you just see like we knew like on our faces. We're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
But we were really, really, really excited. So that is basically.
Yeah, but you were worried. Yeah, you were worried because you were like, I haven't felt him move. And did they explain like what that, just because maybe like you're in labor and the baby was bearing down, or like what was like?
They didn't have an explanation for it. I don't know.
He was just totally fine.
I mean, maybe because I went into labor and like the contractions were happening. And I don't.
Yeah, because they're like soft tugs inside the womb.
Well, but I mean, this might be why. So the reason why we found out, the reason why he was not turning was because he had a triple nuchal cord, which means that the cord was wrapped around not once, not twice, but 3 times.
So crazy.
So crazy. The likelihood of that happening is 0.2% to 0.7%. And I'm just like, yep, there it is.
Yeah.
And then also his arm was pinned like this behind his head. So he was not comfortable at all. And I asked later, I was like, what did the ECV put him in that position? And they were like, no. Like he did that way before.
Yeah.
Like
it actually makes sense of why he kept popping back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that is why the ECV didn't work. So thank God. And I'm also like, I think everything kind of lined up the way it was supposed to, because he had done that before. And I know that like the cord doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to choke the baby. But if something were to go wrong, I feel like God was telling me to do this ECV. And I feel like that was for that reason. If anything were to go wrong, I feel like I needed to get him out because he was not in a good position. Like he needed.
Well, even the scheduling, like you were like, it's going to like the fact that the scheduling was for like a way later. You're like, this feels too long.
Yeah. Everything in me just like told me to like proceed with the ECV, and then just going into labor and then having the C-section. I mean, just like he's in control. I'm not.
Yeah.
That is something that I've learned in all of this. But yeah, so that was really, really scary. Let me read you, just speaking of stats, I have the stats of like all, like the whole entire birth. The arm was pinned, triple nuchal cord wrapped 3 times, 0.2 to 0.6%, so less than 1%. Me having a septate uterus is 1 to 1.5% of women. Breech at 37 weeks, 3 to 4% of women. Second breech baby, you have a 10% chance. And then going into spontaneous labor after an ECV, you have a 5 to 10% chance. So I jumped up a little bit with the spontaneous labor. But like just the percentage, and like I just landed in all of like
the smallest
percentage. And it was just kind of crazy. It kept happening over and over.
But also I think that's a detail to people, is like that is what when you're saying like every birth for every baby with every woman is so different, because there's so many outlier information. Like it's not just how's the baby growing each week, right? Like you're like, okay, what are the like your uterus was a very big defining factor in the beginning with Easton, right? It was because the like the the scar tissue. So that you're assuming that it was just the scar tissue. This time it wasn't, because there was also the nuchal knot. You're like, what could that have been? And then obviously you didn't opt for an ECV with Easton. You did for Harlan. So I'm like, okay, that puts you in a different percentage. But it's just like every decision that you make, every baby, their personality, how they're growing in the womb itself, the person yourself, like there's so many different factors. And that's why it's like, I think the best part about this journey that you talk about is like you constantly vocalized how things were. right?
Yeah.
Like that. And then think that's the biggest lesson out of all of it is like, hey, what is my birth plan? Like you did everything from the ECV to the candles again, to the chiropractor, to what else did you do?
Pelvic floor therapy.
Pelvic floor therapy, the massages, like
Yeah.
you did everything that you possibly could have done to have this. And then at some point you were like, okay, now whatever is happening is out of my hands. And that's when I think some people get really like on themselves, like, hey, this was my birth plan and I didn't get a plan. Like, no, a birth plan is a guide. It's like, what am I going to do to prepare myself? And then at some point you're like, then there's also the surrendering. Baby's going to come how baby's going to come. And there's really not much you can do about it, you know?
Yeah.
As long as baby comes healthy and mom is good. Like, and then now talk about, so then I also didn't realize, cause I was like, oh, how are you doing? Like, cause you had said you didn't have a lot of pain
with Easton,
but also it's your first baby. So you have scar tissue to go through and all that stuff.
Yeah.
How's healing second time around?
That was hard.
Yeah.
It was really hard. So if you think about it, like the trauma that my uterus went through within a less than 24-hour time period was kind of wild. Like going through an ECV, I mean, like I'm sure I have bruising from
that's why they gave you an epidural, right?
Yeah.
Like and a spinal.
Yeah. So like that was just a lot in itself. And then I went through contractions. I went through labor, like not for very long, but like I would say from 3:00 until 9:30. And then I went and I got a C-section. So, and it's the second time and it's a little bit wider, this time. And like, I can feel it's a different stitch. I was glued last time. This one was the actual stitch, and they did some internal stitches and stuff like that were so painful. Like I was feeling them. I had bruises from where they are. And I thought it was like the incision where it was, but like when I went to look, I'd had bruises on my stomach. And with Easton, I barely took ibuprofen. I didn't take Oxy with either one of them. It freaks me out. And with this one, I was like asking for stuff. I was like, I have to have something. Like I can't pull myself up. I can't take care of him. Like I can't breastfeed. Like I can't move at all. And it's just so wild to me that even now, what am I, week? What's today? I don't even know.
You're 1 week and a couple days.
Yeah. Like 10 days out.
Yeah.
Then I have this huge, not only dinner plate sized wound inside my stomach, but I also have an incision and I'm taking care of 2 kids. Like Justin is back to work.
Yeah.
He went back to work last Friday. It is now Monday.
Yeah.
Today's Tuesday. But
yeah. And we're not like super rich with nannies, right? So like at this point you're like, you are the everyday mom, like trying to make it work.
Today was like my first day.
Yeah. You thankfully have his family to come in and help you. Yeah. But as far as like a huge support system, like no, you're pretty much on your own.
Yeah. And like I took him to school today and I had both kids in the car by myself for the first time. That was a different thing too. They told me I couldn't drive for 2 weeks with Easton, but this one they were like, just short distances, you're good. So that's wild. But like still like driving, like pushing the pedals, like
But also if you think in culturally speaking, like in different cultures, you actually aren't supposed to move for 100 days. Like
that's
you're like
crazy.
Like it's so what we did with second baby was it was like first 5 days in the bed, 5 days around the bed, and then 5 days like in the house.
Yeah.
So like for 15 days, I didn't leave the house unless I had to go see the baby, like take the baby to the doctor.
Yeah, I left a lot. So let's talk about that after birth. So the Thursday after I gave birth, so I gave birth on a Saturday. Thursday after, we're doing this home renovation, and my father-in-law's in town. He's a flooring contractor, and he, excuse me, I still have this cough. I had picked out all the tile before, which is right next to Brittany's office. I was like, hey, I'm right next to you. I picked out all the tile before at a place and I fell in love with it, but it wasn't going to be in for a very long time. And now my father-in-law had come in town early. Thank God for them, by the way. Shout out to them too, because like they literally came in a week early. Like they just stopped everything they were doing and just came in the day that we gave birth. Yeah. So shout out to them. But also she didn't come to the sprinkle the week before because she was like, we're coming back in 2 weeks. And then you're like, actually, I need you here in a week. Yes. Yeah. So, and she's retiring in 2 days. So she was going to wait until she retired to come down.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's had to work down here, which all good. But,
this episode is brought to you by Needed, a brand I genuinely love and have actually been using for about 2 years now during my trying to conceive journey and now throughout pregnancy. including over a year before they ever reached out to partner with us. One of the things I appreciate most about Needed is that their supplements are formulated based on what women actually need nutritionally, especially during fertility, pregnancy, and postpartum. A lot of prenatals on the market are underdosed or missing key nutrients. For example, many prenatals don't include enough choline, which is really important for baby's brain and nervous system development. Good news is that Needed recently reformulated their multi-essentials prenatal and actually increased the amount of choline from 150 milligrams to 200 milligrams, which is amazing to see because it's such an essential nutrient that's often overlooked. Right now, I'm taking the reformulated multi-essentials prenatal, but I also love their collagen protein. It is such an easy way to get extra protein in, and the collagen supports things like skin, joints, and tissue support during pregnancy and postpartum recovery. I also just went ahead and ordered their iron support because I naturally tend to run a little low on iron, especially towards the end of pregnancy, and I want my levels to be strong going into postpartum because we all know that little baby just sucks the life out of us, right? And I love that theirs is formulated to be highly absorbable, which is really hard to find, and super gentle, which is also really hard to find. What's really cool about Needed is that they support women through every stage of the mother span, not just pregnancy. They have products for general women's health, cycle support, trying to conceive, pregnancy, postpartum, and even perimenopause. If you want to check them out, go to thisisneeded.com and use the code TruthMoms, that's TRUTHMOMS, for 20% off your order. Okay, this is one of those brands that once you switch, you literally don't go back. I also feel like it's one of those small changes that actually makes a big difference in your home, especially as a mom. I'm talking about Truly Free. And what I love is that they're all about non-toxic, safer cleaning products without all the harsh chemicals. Because let's be honest, we're constantly cleaning surfaces our kids are touching, crawling on, putting things in their mouths, all of it. You know what I'm talking about, y'all. And I feel like a lot of us grew up thinking the stronger, the cleaner, the better. I'm talking about the bleaches, the ammonias, the stuff that just burns your nose hairs. Like everything does not need to be completely disinfected all of the time. But the reality is the super harsh cleaners like bleach don't just kill the bad stuff. They wipe out basically everything, even the harmless bacteria. And while there's definitely a time and place for that, like someone's sick with a norovirus or you're dealing with something heavy duty, it's not really necessary for everyday cleaning and can actually be more harmful to our health than good. For daily life, especially with kids and pets, using something gentler and non-toxic just makes more sense. And that's why I personally love Truly Free. It makes that swap really simple without feeling like you're sacrificing clean. They have everything too: laundry, kitchen, bathroom, so you can slowly replace what you're already using. Are you already using Truly Free? Great. Our code works for both new and existing customers, which is amazing. So you can use code TruthMoms, that's TRUTHMOMS, for 30% off your entire order site-wide. Whether you're just starting to swap things out or restocking what you already love, just head to our link, shop anything on the site, and use code TruthMoms for 30% off. And guys, make sure you're checking our page because they're always updating their bundles and starter kits. So if you want the latest options, you can check out our separate link for the most up-to-date deals.
All right, mama, real quick before we keep going, if you've ever thought, why isn't this diet working for me? Or why do I always feel tired even when I'm doing everything right? It could come down to your genetics. That's why we love MaxGen Labs. Their at-home genetic tests help you understand how your body works, like how you process food, how you detox, what vitamins you actually need, and even your fitness tendencies. It takes all of the guesswork and helps you make choices that actually fit your body. And here's the best part. Just for being a Truth Moms listener, you get 10% off any test. Just head to maxgenlabs.com/truthmoms for 10% off. That's maxgenlabs.com/truthmoms, and you'll get 10% off your order today. Because knowing your body is the first step to feeling your best. All right, back to the show.
Anyway, so basically my father-in-law is here to do some of the flooring, and he was like, well, if I get to the flooring this time, like we have to have the tile. Well, the tile was going to take forever to come in. It was going to be here in like May 18th or something like that. And we were like, okay, that's way too late. So I had to go repick all the tile at Floor and Decor because you can get it that day. Like it's in stock. That was not a good idea. Even though I was on one of those little carts and I was like on an electric motor scooter, it was so taxing just to like,
Oh, I bet.
like make decisions. I ended up in the hospital later that day. Did you know this part?
No, you didn't tell me that.
Oh, yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
So, yeah, I got a fever. I felt feverish in there. I was like, Justin, I really don't feel good. He's like, okay, just power through. And I'm like, looking back, I'm like, I love you, but like, that was not probably the right thing to do. Like, we probably needed to leave. And by the way, that was the same day that I was having a hormone dump. So I was just sitting there with my father-in-law in the back seat. I'm in the front seat, just crying in the front seat. Like, it was just not a good day. But we had to get it done.
Wait, and what day was that? Like day
Thursday
3?
after. So like 4
or 5 days? Yeah.
So not a good idea. Don't do that. Don't do anything crazy. Don't make decisions for like the first 2 weeks, I would say. But I ended up having a fever and my incision was hurting really, really bad. So I went to the hospital. Turned out it was a superficial infection. They gave me some antibiotics and they gave me some pain medication and an IV. I felt a lot better, but like I think like it's just like just sit down.
Yeah.
Just chill.
Relax. Yeah.
But it's really hard to chill when you have.
Yeah. I remember the day the baby was born and I reposted her thing and I was like, we're not going to have any more. I'm like season postponed. You're like, I'm going to get that episode up this week. I was like, girlfriend.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, I'll get the episode up this week. I'm
like,
sitting here doing it.
No.
Yeah.
This part 2, which it'll come up like this week or whatever.
It's this week. But yeah, no, it was kind of nuts going back into the hospital. Just again. So take your time healing, especially when you are having a C-section, because man, it really does take a lot out of you.
Yeah. Okay. And then, but you're still not quite out of the woods yet. So you still have a cough.
Still have a cough. It's not as bad.
Yeah. But also you just told me this morning.
All right. So I went in yesterday for my incision check back to the hospital that I delivered at, back to the health coach system at Diana Health. And, they took my blood pressure and my blood pressure has been fine this whole entire time. The only time it kind of went up was that when I had that really bad migraine and it was only for a couple hours. Hi, are you okay? Come here. So basically, I was like 127 over 90 or 95. It went up to 95. And then yesterday it spiked all the way up to like 120 something, or no, 140 over 100. And I'm like, okay, like something's up. But before I left the office yesterday, they took it like 3 or 4 times and it was not going down. They're like, hey, like we have to put you on a little bit of blood pressure medication just to get you through like the next 6 weeks. So I don't love that. Like I don't love taking these kind of things, but like when you're dealing with a major surgery, this is where I think.
Yeah, you gotta go through.
Yeah.
But do they tell you why? This is my question. Like they're giving you the medication, but do they tell you like, do you have placenta? Preeclampsia?
No, they just want to make sure that I don't, like, just in case I do. They didn't diagnose me as having it but I have to go back next week. So maybe next week they might diagnose.
You'll have an answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're gonna determine it next week. But I'm also gonna message Jamie and just say, hey, like, is there any like suggestions or like, this is where modern medicine is really good and don't mess around with this, that kind of thing. So
no, I'm just always about like this is the symptom. I need to know the cause because I'm like crazy about that stuff. But I totally get it. Like you're like this is not something. Blood pressure is not something you played with, right?
No. The only thing I didn't love, she told me it didn't pass through breastfeeding or like milk, and then like it says it like right there, like will pass through milk, like on the thing, and I'm like, okay, so which one is it? Like,
right.
So that's what I like. If it was just me, like I'm like, okay, like I'll take it. But like the reason why I'm a little bit cautious is I'm like, I don't want to mess with him.
Right.
Even with the antibiotics they did through the IV, they gave me more antibiotics to take for like 28 days, and I was like, if we're ruling out that it was a superficial infection, like, and I just had like a little bit of a round of, I don't need to take these for 28 days, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, just stuff like that. Like, I just don't want to mess.
Speaking
with
of your
things a little.
opinion, I do remember you said it's been a wild 24 hours in the hospital, and I was like, you were saying like your mama bearness, like about that, like the hospital, like you were.
Oh, I don't even remember. I mean, just like
they were trying to say like something, and you were like, no, he's fine. And I can't remember all of it.
Oh, okay. So like he just was born. He was 37 weeks, and like they kept trying to take. I made it very clear, do not take him away from me.
Yeah.
And they kept trying to take him away from me like every 10 minutes because his temperature wasn't getting to the level they wanted to as fast as they wanted to, and it was going up though. And like I had him under blankets and I had him on me, and they were trying to disrupt the golden hour. And I was like, can you just let me do my job as a mother? Like they were trying to take him under the heating lamps. And I'm like, okay, the best thing that you can do is put him on me.
Yeah.
So somehow I ended up getting him to the right temperature, but it wasn't within their time frame. So like,
yeah,
it was just kind of annoying. It was like 0.3 points away where they wanted to take him to the heater. I'm like, just give me 10 more minutes.
Yeah,
like,
that was like with River. River had a little jaundice, like not nothing for bilirubin, like nothing. I find out later, right, from our primary care, but they were like, hey, if like they were gonna make us stay an extra day, and then they said the same thing. They wanted the fry machine, and I was like, no, we're good. We put her by the window, and she was fine. We got out of there, and then when we came back with the levels to our primary care, she was like, nope, that would not be what I would assume would be like John. Like that's not any level of worry here.
Yeah.
And so it's just interesting because again, like at that point, you're like, there's definitely, you had to have an emergency C-section. Those like your blood pressure medication, all that. There are definitely moments where like modern care is very needed and very necessary.
100%.
But then there are parts where you're like, okay, but I'm also still a human, and I don't need to be treated like a liability, and I'm free to make my decisions here with my child. Like we don't have to like follow the book here.
Yeah, I could just tell she was a very I had a couple type A nurses that were just like, she was expecting me to like write down every single time I did a feeding and every time that I was sleeping. I'm not sitting here grabbing the pen and the pen.
I'm about to fall asleep. It's 7:01.
Yeah, I'm in pain. Like, get off it. And I had it I was tracking it in my app. She's like, okay, but did you write down this piece of paper? I'm like, dude, can you chill? Like, it's right here. I'm feeding him around the clock. Like, we are on demand breastfeeding at this point. He is pooping. He is peeing. We are good. Like, we don't need to be. I get it. They do it for liability purposes, but it was so funny because it was like certain nurses like really wanted that sheet of paper, and then some were just like, whatever. I want to give a shout out to my favorite nurse, Miranda. She was awesome. She was like, I'm crunchy. I was like, I love you. And we just like totally bonded.
Yeah.
So she got like everything that like I was trying to do and everything. So she was really awesome. So I don't want to just completely say
no. And I don't think there's anything wrong with the way they do that. To your point, like some people are just, they're by the book. And some people have better bedside manner, right? Because you're like, that's where individualized care, like maybe Miranda will end up in crunchy medicine because she realizes that there's a difference between the standardized care and individualized care.
Right. Exactly. And I think like the people that are like more type A that were like, write down everything. It's more for their benefit because they're checking the box than really like seeing the mother for who they are. You know what I'm saying? Like they're doing their job and they're doing it right.
Yeah.
Okay, buddy, hold on. Okay, here we go. So yeah, that was my experience in the hospital. It wasn't bad though. It was a lot better than Vanderbilt with Easton. They had people coming in and out in Vanderbilt like every, I want to say like hour. We got left alone a lot more at Stonecrest. So that was nice that they didn't bother us every 5 seconds. But yeah, I'm really glad I didn't decide to do home birth. I'll tell you that, because that would have been a waste of money. Number one. Number two, like that's not what I needed. Like my gut feeling on that I did need the extra medical care because look at everything that happened. It's wild. Like, to look back and just see like some of the choices. But I'm really glad it's over for the most part. Like, how
are you outside of the incision though? How are you feeling? Like in your like,
I'm good. Like I don't feel like I have low or high blood pressure. Number one, I feel good, especially the past couple of days. I'm feeling a lot better. It's definitely, I'd say it's tender, but like I feel good. Like
Yeah. The incision's not as bad as it was at first.
It was like I would move and it was like stabbing pain.
Yeah.
It was wild. So yeah, I'm feeling good. But yeah, I
He's
just
here.
would say
2 babies.
it's crazy. It's wild to have 2 babies. Like when we say, okay, we gotta grab the kids. Like Justin's like, what? Or like my children.
Yeah, our children.
Our children.
Oh,
like,
it's so fun.
Family. Just this whole season really, not even just the season for the podcast, but in my life has been about relinquishing so much control. And I've learned so much from it. And like God just keeps giving me that lesson. And I feel like, oh, I'm finally going to listen, because as much as I do like to have control over things, like he's the only one in control.
Yeah.
You know, and just like it's just a big lesson that I need to learn. And I think it's a lot. It stems from me just not having control when I was growing up with like my family's divorce and with what was going on with my parents and other aspects in my life. But like, it's just, I feel myself with this motherhood journey just really like
leaning in
a lot more, really enjoying the little moments, not getting caught up in the everyday, just stupid little things. Like this has to be perfect. I mean, I still have that quality, but like I'm really just looking at life through a new lens. You really are reborn.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild. I don't know if you felt like that with Lenny.
Mm-hmm.
Like just,
and I think each child, if you have multiples, I think each child, something else tears and re-begins to. Like it's not just the firstborn. Like the second one teaches you things, right? Like, cause you're like, your firstborn is so, it's so funny now, like having like friends with like only 1 and friends with like 5, you know, I can see it because I'm now in the middle, like with 2.
Yeah.
Like I can see how it just shapes you every single time because the baby is so different or so new. Like you're re-entering, you almost forget the newborn stage.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I forgot about all this, you know? And then, but then there's a sense of peace because you've been there before. And so you're able to like, just hold steady. He's just so sweet. And I love how they just snuggle right in the womb again. Oh my gosh.
And just like, I remember I still had a business when I was, I saw my organizing business when I had Easton and I was still working. Like I didn't stop. Maybe for 2 days when I was in the hospital, but like I was doing everything on the back end. And I remember working a lot and like visiting job sites and stuff like that and still being in that boss babe like mentality. And I guess I kind of did that to you because I was like, I'm editing because I had a minute to do it in the hospital. But, it's different this time. Like, it's like, oh no, like I'm a mom, like that is my job.
Yeah.
And I think that I've been shedding, you know, that girl boss for a while now. And it feels like I've completely like,
that's good.
Shed it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just had this like wave come over me this morning as I'm taking Easton to school with my kids in the back. It's just like, you're just like, oh, like,
and maybe you don't shed it. Like it's not there. I think cause like now I'm coming back where I'm like, okay, I can handle more things. I can do more things. I think it's just an understanding that like relinquishing the fact that like not everything always has to happen all at the same time. Like right now, the most important thing is you and your kids.
Yes.
And that's like,
my job.
What's this phase look like? And I have to lean into that phase because I can't just walk up out this door and go do,
you know what it is? It's
not
feeling guilty about it anymore.
Yes.
That's what it is.
100%.
It's like I am here and I'm present and I'm ready to just throw myself all into this.
Yeah.
And that stage of the girl boss or working or whatever, that thrill that I got before having kids, that's going to be there again. And it might look a little different, but like this right now is so important, so fleeting. I mean, like he's already 10 days old. I'm just like, how did this already happen? Like,
and they changed so much in the first year.
So much. Yeah.
Like from week to week, month to month, like it's such a different, like I look at Lenny and now Lenny like, I'm going to go home and be like, Lenny is big. You know, and Lenny's only a year. You're like in 1 year from this newborn, like days old to this 1 year, like they are night and day.
Yeah.
And that is just, you know, something to be cherished. And I think sometimes in the firstborn moms, like I wish I could go back and like, I've been watching these interviews of like people talk about how like motherhood changes you and like whatever, and in the best way. But I think sometimes when you interview a first time mom versus somebody who has multiples, or a mom that is like out of the trenches, like a year or two, right? I think that the thing about being a first time mom sometimes is that we live in a society that wants you to mourn that. Mm-hmm. And I don't really like, I mean, if you did, there's nothing wrong with it. But I personally felt guilty that I didn't mourn it. I was like, I'm so good with being in this mom role. And then I would look and it would be like, well, that's all you talk about. Motherhood's all you talk about. I'm like, yeah, like
what's going on in my life right now.
But you see a lot of people, you know, in our age group that like will be like, I wasn't prepared for it, and it rocks me, and like and that's again person to person, like no judgment there. But I used to feel guilty that I was like, I don't feel that way. Like I can't wait to get home to my kids. Yeah. I don't want to go to the club anymore.
Yeah,
you know, like I don't want to be out on Broadway. Like I don't want to do any of this stuff. I want to be with this is the point of my life, and that's.
Well, if you think about it, all that stuff too, like we did that to find, like, kind of in a way to find a mate to have this kind of life. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like going out and like meeting people, and like the whole point was to find your life partner or somebody to have fun with and share your life with. That's why we did that. And now like we sometimes mourn our bodies, and it's like, okay, well, like that was the body that was made to maybe attract that guy or whatever.
Yeah.
But now like we're moms, and our bodies are made to sustain life and like to birth life and whatnot. So like we sometimes forget that's the whole point.
Right.
It's just, it's crazy.
Right.
Yeah. Gosh, I would never want to. Have you been to Broadway lately?
No, my mom and my aunts went because they were here this week. They all went down on Broadway.
That's a whole nother animal, you guys.
Yeah. What, Broadway or my family?
Well,
that's another time for another talk.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
He's amazing.
Thank you.
And it's nap time for all of us.
It is. I know. I need to go take a nap.
Thanks for tuning in to Truth Moms. Remember, mamas, the truth starts at home.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. It really helps us reach more moms like you. And plus, it's free.
Until next time, stay strong, stay curious, and we will keep dropping those truth bombs.